Tiri Machimu Tiri Druhimi mamu mi maheya Muhammadiyau So this morning I woke up with a special message from the insects speaking on behalf of the Sacred Gold Network in Gaia, telling me that the goal responsibility is everyone's, and my responsibility is deliver the information with an open heart and the consciousness that everyone is a part of this network. So I decided to make this video that is for everyone who is in charge of their own heart and feeling how I can collaborate with the consciousness process in Mother Earth today. How can I take my heart and do my own process to help? So this is Ioan Mu, together with SimRam Mu, a collective of masters of the origin who consecrated our lives in Gaia from the very beginning. We are Mother Mary, Master Adama, Lady Nada, Christ Ananda, beloved Sarah, Maitreya, the Christic Buddha, and the beloved Master Kuan Yin. Lady Venus is also with us, and Mother Isis from Pleiades, and many others who take place in given moments. So our nucleus is here to tell you that the 5 elements are showing so much pressure into Mother Earth because such is the psychic pressure that there is on the ground and also inside of the layers of Gaia, inside of her colors and her textures and her living realms, even the stones and the fire keep lots of what the human memory is here, what it has been along the time. So even though Gaia is a liberated, ascensional being, spirit, who is the soul of Mother Earth, our beloved planet, She's in ascension now, liberating so much so that the layers to whoever corresponds to accept the mission of their own lifetimes can take their own parts. So it is her task to renew herself and to jump into new steps and open new spheres of consciousness for herself and for all of us. And it is everyone's task to see what is next in your own heart. Everyone is feeling, I know, some pressure in our lives. Everyone is feeling something is wrong or something could be better. So it is the time that we can let you know about some messages from the 5 elements and the realms of consciousness. The realms of consciousness are in a neat agreement now with the councils of unity in Gaia, thanks to all the gatherings with so much love and all the efforts of liberation and opening heart that we are all doing, the ones who take part in the daily life and in sacred ceremonies and gatherings of the sacred collective agreements about the new DNA, about the life, the timeline that Gaia and the humanity is taking along forward. So there is a moment of transfiguration and opening and wisdom, unification and communication with the highest aspects of the higher realms that are corresponding to us with the levels of consciousness that we give to them. So if we are more open and more understanding and clearer, we receive beings that come to us and express some feelings, some ideas, some notes from the past and from the near future, so that we are aware of what reality is bringing us through Gaia and her aspects. So please take care or organize yourself so that you can be aligned in a main axis of consciousness and with a clear base that can sustain an open heart activity and a clear mind. This is a way to understand better the processes of consciousness that are bringing us to the heart development nowadays in Gaia. So that Christic consciousness can appear, we need to develop ourselves and refine ourselves too. Every time, every day, every hour, more and more. Being accurate with ourselves, being loving, being present, being understanding and comprehensive, being golden in the sense that we look for unity, and serving as diamonds in the sense that we anchor the finest, accurate and purificating energy that can assimilate the highest frequencies coming to Earth right now. So this is a good moment to update ourselves with the 2020's energies and be aware of what we can give in the sense of alignment, purification, communication with ourselves and the ones around. Besides, there are important messages about the 5 elements working in the conditionated aspect or appearance, as you know, all these fires and difficulties with the water flow and the ground that is becoming so dried in many areas. So this is the apparent stuff that makes us really enter in touch, get in touch with the reality that something very strong is happening, since 5 elements are part of all our cells, all the levels of our bodies of light, and especially felt in the physical body, are made of the 5 elements. So we can feel the earth, the water, the fire, the air, and the ether in us all the time. We can be aware of this more or less, depending on our culture, studies, and awareness, because we can also feel it just from being present and understanding what is emerging now from us, which element is growing up more than others, which elements need to be heard, in which areas of the body where I feel something stuck or getting sick, there are some elements needing to manifest in a different way. So that is something very concrete that we do with ourselves and our bodies. That is about showing molecules of peace inside, and this is when Buddha Maitreya enters here and shows us that the molecular service or state of consciousness that empties us and helps us being the presence activity of the void is the highest service we can give in a moment that we need so communication inside from the higher sphere so that we can influence into the densest ones that need so much help. That's why he suggests that the molecular state is clear and organized. We need calmness for this. We need to hydrate ourselves very well. We need to qualify and quantify all we eat, all we touch, all we think, all we let in our bodies, all we use, even melodies, television, rhythms, music, conversations, all is influencing our molecules that bring the 5 elements inside. So consecutively with this consciousness, we might need to make some changes in our daily life so that our molecules come back to the original state of consciousness, incorporated in the matter. The molecules show us the same as the cells, as a more complex building of being that includes so many molecules, right? Both show us very clearly how the basic unity, the most basic unity of our bodies have influence in everything and are influenced by everything, how they create as divine consciousness that we are, with this special gift of being manifested in the matter. We have this divine gift of consciousness too. So we have the awareness and the manifestation, and we need to build the bridges between both. If we lose the manifestation level and we are only in the awareness, we disorganize ourselves, we don't know how to act, we lose discernment. If we are only in the matter of fact that this and this plus this is this, we act like this, we get this, but we lose the consciousness of the origin of all that, where it comes from. If we are in harmony, where does the harmony come from? If we are in chaos, where the chaos comes from? If we are in a feeling of attraction to something, or disagreement, or conflict, or fabulous grounding in a family or community, where does it come from? So that is in our origin, divine platforms and templates that we hold inside our memory and our DNA. Some aspects of our DNA are not shown yet. Many of them are still hidden or undeveloped. So we need to devote to this DNA transformation that is actually, from our point of view, recovering what we really are. recovering our nature. Our spontaneous nature has an order. It is not only being, it is being from the source. And source is a huge responsibility of origin. It is a huge understanding of life. When life starts to appear in the densest, to call it like this, better call it the more basic levels of consciousness, when I can manifest life in 12th dimension, in 5th dimension, in 3rd dimension, then the same patterns of the geometries of the source come down through all these dimensions and ground into the 3rd level, that is the most basic that we are living now. There are many patterns that are not directly coming from the origin now, but were distortioned and are continuously receiving distortion through these influences that I was mentioning before, that are coming from other awareness or other points of view of how life works. But if you feel it from the heart a little bit, these points of view that are not helping life to be organized and harmonious are not prosecuting the best for the life, are not getting agreement with all realms so that we make the best among all of us. So we need to be very discerning, and that's why gold is here. That's why diamond frequency is here too, and that's why Masters of Origin came back now to show up in a clear way how discernment is of what is best for life now. Every one of us is a clear picture of health, of happiness, of creation, of the best opportunities to collaborate, to confluence, to activate ourselves as a community where everyone has a special gift, and we need to recover that. For that purpose, we need to feel ourselves more, and the emptiness and silence and happiness and joyous life in harmony is the best way to get it done. Since we are best anchored in ourselves, we can address the elements and work with them. We can serve with them. And this is a very special opportunity today, since the Mothers of Origin want us to express some feelings to the elements now, and want us to do the special exercise of fire transmiseration. That is a very subtle golden fire that comes through us while we breathe, while we feel the light even in the darkness, and that lifts up all the levels of consciousness of that manifestation, that in this case is the fire that needs to be liberated from the task of being consuming the psychic waste of the humanity that is in the air. We need to release the air abilities so that the wind can again be a communicator to us. Wind can again be clear and happy to move when it is the time. It can show us some movements that Mother Gaia is having. It can help us dance and release some stuff too, in a mild way, in a gentle way, in a flowing way. Since wind has been so stuck with humanity thoughts, and fire has been so stuck with humanity, or overloaded maybe with humanity emotions that are not processed, and water has been so dried and polluted of the humanity feelings not released, not expressed, not cleared yet. These three elements are working in a very discontinuous way and very slowly trying to liberate. So fire is now taking a priority as an emergency resource, we can say, to help dissolve all this density as quick as possible, making as well earth element to get dried and wasted of so many burns, so much life that is leaving us as an agreement of making the best for everyone, that is liberating, transmuting, as people say. But we bring this message from the core of Gaia and from the voice of the five elements themselves, who say they are doing their best, but it could be even better if humanity would evolve and involve in the process, saying what is next from their hearts. So we will pray now with who feel this from the heart, or people who use their hearts, their bodies, their hands, their words to make life better, their consciousness, their silence, their songs, their music, their art, their intellect, their bodies, all to make life better in this lovely creation planet. You can all take part of this ceremony that is called transmiseration of the sacred fire, and starts with a song where we recover our golden crystal molecules from the origin. Then we speak to the void, we enter into silence, and then we express through an energy movement inside that comes from our true intention, that we want fire to liberate itself and that humanity takes their responsibility. So along with this, we will do the transmiseration process that can take hours or days or weeks, depending on how we focus and how big the issue is. But we will do it in some minutes by now, and everyone can take their task to do it home and to gather maybe with their tribes and communities to do these ceremonies together. Okay. I feel very light to do this, very blessed and very glad. I can feel how life is happy about this, that this is needed and was needed for so long. It is important that we know that transmiseration process is very sacred and was used and still used by the Christic family of golden origin here in Gaia as a part of the roses and lotus wisdom from the sacred circles. So this is something we are recovering now. It is important that we use it as much as possible. Every day we have something to transmiserate, and at the same time that we keep it very intimate and we tell it to our people, our family, our children, our communities that are closer, so that they can all spread it around from heart to heart. So now it is the moment to breathe, to stand up. Master Sananda is here too, besides Mother Mary and Buddha Maitreya. To stand up and feel how we feel from the heart. Being sincere with ourselves. This is a moment to take the crystal molecules, to be in touch with the crystal molecules of our reading platforms and templates, even though we don't know it mentally, but we can ask our divinity aspect to bring it for us. Maitreya Buddha will be helping us in this process. Vim Tayanaya Min Oyem Truye Maim Tayanin Oyem Maim Tayanin Oyem Truye Maim Tayanin Buddha Maitreya is expressing, controlling your feelings is not maybe the best way to use them. It is endeavoring your feelings and allow them to happen in a natural way, without needing to hide them or contain yourself, without needing to explode with them, but just observing them and letting them flow. We can call them flowings that come from the heart, come from the emotions, come from situations that we live, and we reconsider them and flow with them and continue our present. There is pure awareness and pure continuity with who we are. So whenever we have feelings that are out of control, we are contributing to the land's disasters and imbalances, as well as we do the same when we control ourselves too much. So it is a time to conceive a new being inside that comes from the void of nature, the void of happiness, of just being present with simple life. Very simple life helps us restore our fields until we get to touch the most divine ones that are the Christic and Buddhist fields. So starting from the basic one, the most basic one, that is the physical body, we can note how the molecules are and how we are feeling now. He says that the etheric field is full of ignorance of what we avoid thinking of or when we think too much, as well as the astral planes. So we need to focus a part of our day in clearing the structures of our aura or etheric layers of our bodies. Then we get into the emotional one and we have this experience, success of clearing emotions if we allow ourselves to just be. Then we have the mental one where we create reality. Then we have the conception one and the galactic ones that are wider and where we share, communing with the collective. That's why when we open too much, sometimes we feel that we deserve to get in touch and to get to ourselves extra information that comes from many others, that if we are in a good base and position of confidence, we can get into that. We can work it out and serve as a harmonizer and in liberation for collective humanity. But if we are not in that position, we should preserve our closest bodies surrounded by the gold diamond frequency as a layer that seals and protects us with mother stars and other galactic geometries that come to our present to keep us aligned and sealed. When one feels like this, one can open a little bit more and feel in the present different spheres that we suggest to hear with an open heart and an open mind and being very present in our daily life. Then according to fear, we have some more message that is important as well. That is that many changes are occurring to our human species now and to all our planet, and fear is everywhere. Every molecule of us can have a part of fear for being disconcerted or in disagreement or uncertain about what is going to happen. No one of us knows how we're going to be, how we're going to behave in an hour, in a day, or in 2 years. Nobody knows if life on the surface is going to survive or is going to change in the ecosystems, in the life that surrounds you, in ourselves themselves and your children. That's why there is a full concept of ignorance that humanity is carrying now, that is full of powder of disagreements, disconcertion, and uncertainty that we need to clear up too. So this exercise of clearing the molecules and bringing the gold inside and receiving the immaculate blueprint of your origin molecules is very useful to reconnect to your natural being. I offer you this ceremony of reconnecting the original molecules, and then my mother will come to help you with the transmiseration exercise to lift up the fire activity and liberate it from the wind and water roles so that everyone can take their own. Thank you. So this is only sound and vibration, and you can be standing or laying on the ground. A mother star is sustaining us from the origin, the same as all her vibrations are going through our fields. All blessings and thank you from the void in the heart. Now it is the turn of transmiseration. We bring to the heart our oldest memories that still cause suffering. We call them in. Saying, come back here to liberate yourself. You can feel some distress, some weight, some special state. And from there, we call ourselves to be back here and to open the heart to the golden memories and to the gold being that we are. And we start to breathe gradually, more and more widely, and open our innerst space of the sacred heart. And from there, we will connect to the fire's consciousness. We will connect the sacred fire's energy and their elemental beings and guardians. And we ask him to give us back the load that we have given to him. And we will distribute it in our hearts and give it back directly to the source, layer by layer by layer, in a stratus of organized fields that we own, that are footsteps, stair steps into heaven. That is a lighter atmosphere where everything is united and where we all take part of when we just feel our immense being that we are. So we will feel this load of our own suffering. We will feel how easy it is to say it is enough. And we can be ourselves and we can be cleared up if we trust, and we are assisted too by so many Devic angelic beings and masters from the gold Christic crystal demon structure of the Origin family. So I will start singing together with the masters and we will see the progress of it. Ioan Mu. Breathing the gold Christic blood codes coming in and allowing the release experience to happen. Breathing in, Ioan Mu. Christic Ioan Mu. Christic If everyone wants to sing, either in silence or in loud voice, it is all a blessing for this process once again. So, our suggestion is going on through it, non-stopping, until we feel the liberation. You can turn a little golden fire as an intention through a candle, or a very, very, very tiny elemental fire, or just breathing the inner golden flame all throughout, and release the molecules of suffering. We are assisted and supported by the Gold Christic family that includes our Buddhas and includes Mother Gaia within the Masters. As Master Sananda said yesterday, gold is coming. Please don't stop it. Please don't push it. Just love it. Just allow it. Flow within. Come with me. Gold is from the heart a time of liberation and bliss. So we finish the communication with these words, and we allow space for everyone to continue with the process. We are available in cosmicgoldunity@gmail.com for any question. We are present in all the realms and planes now. Thank you for this support of serving as one.